what we'll do is we'll try to combine applets with HTML. In the earlier programs, when I wrote an applet and I showed you the execution of the program, we used an application called as Applet Viewer. We were not actually embedding an applet inside an HTML. We were using an app called as an Applet Viewer, and that Applet Viewer used to show me the output on the user screen. Now today actually what we'll do is we'll try to play with applets and HTML. You know about applets. Applets are programs which are going to be present on the web server and they'll be visible to everyone in the world through their web browsers. So what we are basically going to do is we are going to create web pages, embed this applet inside that web page, and then anyone who wishes to see my applet will open the web page and the applet will be visible on the web page. Briefly, I'll tell you about an HTML file. An HTML file basically is a markup file which only has tags. It specifies what is a heading, what's a paragraph, what's a table, how the table has to be shown, what are the contents of the table. The web page is defined in terms of tags. An HTML file is basically a collection of tags. When I transfer or when I say type www.facebook.com, the actual web page is not transferred onto your computer. The tag related file is transferred onto the computer. The web browser goes through the tags, it reads every tag, and depending upon the tag, it places every contents onto the web page. So what is being transferred from a web server to your computer is not the actual web page, but the web page in the form of tags. And HTML is nothing but a tag-based language where everything is specified in terms of tags. Let us say I wish to define a HTML page. What I do is I define it within these tags. This is how I write down this. I'll start the HTML part and I'll end the HTML tag. This tells the web browser that this is where the HTML is starting, this is where the HTML is ending. The title related things we put in this title tag, something like this. The body of the HTML page I define within this body tag. It's very simple. Mind well, I am not going into the actual details of an HTML. I'll assume you know some basics of HTML when I am teaching this. I'll show you a few examples if you want where you can just browse, refresh your information about HTMLs. This is the basic syntax of an HTML program. It starts with HTML tag, it ends with this HTML tag. The title of your application, the thing that you will wish to display onto the web browser has to be defined within this title tag. And the contents of the web page you will be specifying within the body tag. Now apart from HTML tag, title tag and the body tag, you should know a few tags in your general, for your general information. One of the tags is the heading tag. The contents of your web page, if you wish to specify with a heading, there is a heading tag. Now when you put the heading tag, there are different types, H1, H2, H3, H4, they are the different types of heading tags. Depending upon the tag, depending upon whether you are using H1 or an H2 or an H3, the heading will be appropriately displayed. I will just show you this. See, a very simple thing. I have specified a heading and a paragraph in front of you. You can see the difference in the fonts. The web browser, when showed an HTML file, the first part is the heading and the second part is the paragraph. Now what is written inside it? It's very simple, see. It's very simple. H1 stands for the heading, P stands for the paragraph. If I wish to define another paragraph, I'll just put it this way. Again, I can write on the second paragraph, I can end the second paragraph. In case of paragraph, it's only P, but in case of headings, it is H1, H2, H3, because if you want a smaller heading, I can go for H2. If I want again a smaller heading, I can go for H3. I'll just show you this. This is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6 in your program. Now, if I show you the output of this, you can see headings of different setting. I'll make a small change over here. In this case, I'll again make it H1 instead of H5, well H4 I'll make it as H1. See what happens. You can see the difference. Heading 1, again you get is a heading 1. You can also embed an image in your HTML file. For that I'll need to tell you this image tag, and apart from that I also embed the HTML. It's very simple. See, if I wish to embed any image, I just to specify the name of the image, the width and the height. Similarly to that image, I can also specify the applet code over here. See, what you need to do is put the applet tag in your HTML file, code with the name of the Java program which has been compiled and converted into a class file. So I specified the class name and again the width and the height of the applet. So this is the width and height that we use in the applet program, dimension d equals to size. This is the width and height that it gets into the applet program. So as you can embed an image into your applet, into your HTML page, similarly you can embed also an applet. For image, what you need to do is use the image tag, specify the name of the source file, that is the image file, the width and its height. For applet tag, you need to specify applet, the code, that is the name of the class file, the width and the height. But one thing has to be assured that this is using sciapplet7.class. Your folder where the HTML file resides should have that sciapplet7.class, otherwise it will give you no class definition error. So if I execute this now, right now I am getting the image as specified, but I am not getting the applet. It's very simple. You can see over here, it's giving me some security related option. I'll just go for allow blocked content, yes, and the applet starts showing into the web browser. You can see a web browser. Inside that web browser there is an image, and again apart from the image there is also a applet. So we have very easily put an applet into the web page. How did we do? In the HTML file we inserted the applet tag where we specified the class program with the help of code, the width and the height. It started showing in my web browser. One more thing we can do, from the HTML we can also send some parameters to the applet program. It's a very simple concept. HTML file can send parameters to the applet program, and this can be very easily done. Inside that applet, inside the HTML, see how you can specify. Inside the applet tag, I am putting one more tag over here, parameter tag. I will have to specify two things about the parameter, the key and the information. So name of the parameter is message. Message, I have typed something over here for you. I have just written something for you. So this parameter can be accepted by the applet to display it onto the applet. So HTML can send some information which can be accepted by the applet, and that information can be used to display onto the applet screen. This is like passing information to a function. When I pass information to a function, I say I am passing parameters to a function. Here I am passing parameters to the applet program. So what I have done is, I have specified the applet tag in my HTML page which specifies the name of the class, the width and the height, and along with that I have also specified the parameter tag, where parameter I am specifying as message, and this is the value of the parameter. This message will be accepted by my applet, will be used to scan by my applet, and when the message parameter will be scanned, obviously I will be getting the value in my applet. This can be used in my program very easily. I'll just show you a very small program for that. See, a new function for you people, get parameter. This is an applet class function called as get parameter. The parameter that we specified in the HTML file was message. So it's saying get parameter message. Whatever the message was written in the HTML file, this message is accepted in my string. If it is nothing, then the default string psycompusis will be set, and if the string is available, then whatever string was available, that will be drawn onto the applet. Now, if I execute this, again the same security related message, I'll say block content, allow block content, and you can see the message getting displayed on my applet screen. So it's very easy, it's very convenient to embed an applet in my HTML page. Just specify the applet tag, specify the code, that is the name of the class file, width and height. Apart from that, what extra we can do is we can have parameter passing. These parameters can be used by the applet for the display. Like I can pass the colors I want in the background. I can pass the color of my drawing. I can pass various things to the applet from the HTML. For that, I'll have to use the parameter tag. I'll have to specify the name of the argument, that is message in my example, and whatever the value that I can specify along with it. These can be accepted by the applet program by using the get parameter function. The get parameter function has to be specified which parameter you are reading, and accordingly you can perform operations on the applet. So you have 5-6 applets with you in the earlier videos. Try embedding them into your HTML file and try to open the applet using an HTML file now. Because what we have done earlier is we have opened the applets in the applet viewer. Now let go that applet viewer, we'll try to embed them into the HTML file. So these programs you need to include in your HTML file, create a normal small HTML file and then try to embed it into your HTML file.